QB, Vail, Colorado.
Happy Monday, June 26th. Beautiful sunshiny Monday out there. Make sure to get on out there, soak up that sunshine. It is gorgeous out. We have a great show in store for you today. Mark Sassi, our very own Mark Sassi, is going to be teaching us all how to fly fish. I am so excited about this segment in the next hour. I know nothing about fly fishing, so can't wait to learn from the best from Mark Sassi. And one thing I do know a lot about is yoga, and you're in luck. Today at 9 a.m. you can head on over to Beaver Creek and do some free yoga in Beaver Creek. Pretty cool outdoors, beautiful sunshiny day, like I said, and there's nothing better. Also, if you're not in the Beaver Creek area and closer to the Gerald Ford Amphitheater area, you can head on over to the Betty Ford Gardens and do some free yoga, 9 a.m. same time. Betty Ford Gardens, beautiful space, and do some yoga outside. We have a great show in store for you today, Monday, June 26th. And guess what? Good Morning Vail starts right now.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Welcome to the TV8 Weather Center. Happy Monday, gorgeous day out there. Let's check out that sunshine. As you can see, 8 a.m., 58 degrees, a high of 79. Sunny and beautiful day. Soak up that sunshine, have some fun. I am stoked on summer. 8 a.m., 58 degrees and sunny. Noon, 73 sunny. 4 p.m. even warmer, dig that, 77 and sunny. 8 p.m. temperatures cooling off a little bit, 69 and sunny. Now for the I-70 corridor, you can see that Eagle is going to be 86, very warm, so take your sunscreen and definitely make sure and lather up today. Avon 81 degrees, Vail 79, and Denver a whopping 90 degrees. Talk about a summer sunshiny day. I dig it. A low of 52 degrees tonight. Beautiful evening to open up your windows and have a light breeze coming in. For your 5-day forecast, Tuesday, mostly sunny, 77. Wednesday, 79 and sunny. Thursday, 75 and partly cloud, well, mostly sunny. Not even partly cloudy. Friday, mostly sunny and 73 degrees. And then Saturday, 75 and mostly sunny. It's going to be a beautiful week out there. Get on out there, soak up that sunshine, and keep right here for more of TV8.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. I love segments like these because I learned something that I know nothing about. Our very own Mark Sassi is helping us to learn all about fly fishing and helping Maddie learn how to dress to fly fish. Check this out.
Hey everybody, Mark Sassi here. I hosted TV8. I also run Minturn Anglers. I got Maddie Evans. Y'all know her from TV8. We get to work together really one day a week. It's not enough, but whenever I'm in there, Maddie and I always tend to we kind of get drawn to fly fishing. I give a fly fishing report. We talk about what's happening on the rivers. And I feel like, I mean, you can pipe in, but you've learned a fair amount.
Hopper droppers, keep them wet, make sure the river temperatures are appropriate so you're not killing fish left and right. Water levels, cubic feet, basketballs in the river. I got it. Let's do this.
Yeah, okay, you're good. So she has the basic understanding, but she wants to go fishing. And really what we want to do is educate everybody today on soup to nuts, what it takes to go out on a fly fishing trip. Whether you're a beginner or you know how to fish, there's a lot of things you have to take into account. So for starters, we get suited up in waders and boots. So Maddie's gonna drift on back here. She's gonna try on her waders and boots. And once we get these on and we're sure that they fit all right, we're gonna take it to the river. And things you have to take into account when you're going fly fishing as opposed to kind of traditional fishing where you just use a spinning rod and a lure, you have to think about where you're going to fish in the river, because our fish with flies only hang out in certain areas. What flies to use, make sure you're using the proper knots, and also you make sure you're using the right rod and you're casting it the right way. So not just about Maddie trying to look good and trying to stay dry, but there's a lot more that goes into it. But this is step one. Middle of the summer.
How are we doing on these waders?
I think you're pretty good. How do they? I mean, they're not bad.
All right, cool.
They're not bad.
All right.
So in the middle of the summer, you don't necessarily need to wear waders because the water temperatures, like we've talked about, Maddie, are warm, right?
Right.
And the water levels are low. So you could actually wet wade, where you would wear a pair of sandals or those wading boots and no waders. But in the colder months, or when the water levels are up or colder, it's good to be able to wear waders to protect yourself. But I think to fit the part, instead of seeing Maddie splashing around in her little Daisy Dukes, we're putting her in waders today to make it right, start to finish. And we're doing good. How are those doing? Good?
Great.
She's wearing Reddington waders. These are Corker's wading boots with a BOA system, which is that quick lacing system with a speed dial. Pretty handy. And she's waterproof all the way from her chest all the way down to her toes, as long as there's no leaks in those waders. But you're good to go. They got a pocket here. There's a pocket on the inside, waterproof if you want to bring your cell phone. But most people don't bring very much with them except maybe a cell phone and some sunscreen.
Right.
The guides are going to have, you say right like you know.
I don't know. I just.
You don't need to bring much. We get people that show up here at the shop and they take their wallet out and they have their car keys and their tablet and their pager and all this other stuff, that when you're in the river, it's about disconnecting with everything so you can reconnect with the natural surroundings that we have.
You know people that are still using pagers?
Maybe. I can't tell anybody that though.
Okay, well.
Burner phones, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
You don't need much except for, and also the guides also will airdrop or send your photos. You don't need to bring a phone if you don't want to. Disconnect to
That's
reconnect
simple.
is what it's all about. You got that?
Yeah, that's simple. I love to disconnect.
Sunscreen, a normal hat to protect your eyes and your face from the sun and also from flies flying around, and also a good pair of sunglasses.
Perfect.
Okay, preferably polarized, so you can actually see more into the water, so you may be able to see the targets that you're actually fishing at.
I think that now we've done this, I'm suited up. I think you should get
So let's
suited
pick her up and throw her in the river. Let's see if she stays dry. Okay, I'll get suited
Okay.
up.
All right, you get suited up, and then I think we should make our way down to the river so you can teach me so much more about fly fishing.
We're going to go through all the basics. Why we have these bugs. Why do I have to cast the rod that way? And show me a knot. But we'll go through it all. This is fly fishing with TV8. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
Here at Sun and Ski Sports, we are all about having the best summer adventures. Our full-service bike shop is here to help you get back on the saddle with services ranging from simple tire changes, full bike overhauls, and rentals. If trail running, hiking, or trips to the lake are your thing, our expert staff will fit you in the best performing footwear or clothing. And don't forget about a relaxing day on the water with our stand-up paddleboard rentals. Call Sun and Ski Sports in Avon or Dillon today, or learn more at sunandski.com/CO.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you on 92"? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on mountain perspectives and our new Spanish programming block coming this fall. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website at tv8vail.com.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Have you ever wondered about knots when you're fly fishing? I know I have. I know nothing about it. Our very own Mark Sassi is going to teach us all about the knots that you need to make for fly fishing.
Welcome back to a nice little segment called Fly Fishing with Maddie. That's not what it's officially called, but I think that's the direction it's heading. Trying to fly fish with Maddie. Anyway, so you got your gear. You're good on the waders and boots, right?
Good.
Now, so the next step of it, and this is a piece that really, for most people that go on a fishing trip, this is kind of the understood that they don't worry about. The guides take care of all of it, okay? They're going to tie your knots. They're going to select your flies for you. You don't need to do any of that. But there's also people that go on these fishing trips that want to treat it more like a school.
Yeah.
So they want to know how to tie that knot and what flies to use and why do you select those flies. So I think it's kind of, if people are watching for the first time and they're trying to decide if the fishing thing is for them or not, this will help kind of open up those questions for yourselves and say, do I want to learn more about this, or do I want to have the guide just do it for me? So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to show you the bugs. We're going to tie a knot and go from there. What are you thinking right now?
I'm thinking that there's a lot of pretty things going on right here.
Isn't there? Isn't it wild?
Yeah, it's pretty cool looking. Some bug mimics going on here.
Bug mimics.
Yeah.
Imitators.
Yeah, and I'm just ready to learn some loop, swoop, and polling.
Loop, swoop, and polling. So, we've talked about this before. I think you and I have. All the bugs, well, 99% of the bugs that the fish eat all come from the bottom of the river. So all these start as a tiny little larva, like a let's just say like a butterfly larva, okay? A little larva, then they make a cocoon around their bodies in the rocks in the river. And then over the course of 365 days, they gestate and they get bigger. And then when they're ready to become a fuzzy fly, which is an adult version, they will climb out of their cocoon, they'll float to the surface of the river, and then they'll sit on top of the water for a little bit of time as they dry their wings off. Then they'll go off and fly around. They'll look for their mate, they'll reproduce. The male will return to the river and die. The female will return to the river, lay her eggs, and then she'll return to the river and die. And they're really out of the rocks as an adult for about 24 hours, and then that's it. So their life cycle is really weird. It's just a short-lived life when they're out. They're in the rocks for most of their lives. So we have bugs that imitate the larva, we have bugs that imitate the bugs that emerge, and we have bugs that imitate the ones that sit on top that are dry flies.
So you have the whole life cycle of the bug here.
Yeah.
Which makes it nice and convenient. That way when you want to fish, you know what you're using.
Well, yeah, and you just pay attention to what's happening on the river at the certain times of the year.
Bug expert.
You read the fishing reports. You just kind of, you earn this knowledge and you gain it over time. Right now, this time of the year with the water temperatures being warm and low, we're seeing a lot of the surface bugs, a lot of the dry flies, the adults.
Right.
So if you're riding your bike around Vail or you're going for a hike up on a mountain in Beaver Creek and there's little bugs everywhere, chances are if you're near water, they're not mosquitoes or house flies or horse flies. They're either going to be caddis flies, mayflies, or stone flies. And they don't bite, they just fly around and get in your hair and get in your eyes.
And annoy you.
Yeah.
Their job is to annoy you.
They pretty much are, kind of like what you do with me. Same idea.
All right, let's learn how to tie
All right,
some knots.
so with that being said, this time of the year, like we talked about it before, we're starting to see the terrestrial bugs, which are going to be your ants. And what else is another bug that comes from the land that ends up in the water by accident? They're big, they fly around, they hop around. How about that? They hop around.
Maybe a grasshopper.
So grasshoppers now leading into the cooler months towards the end of the summer and the fall. There's a lot of grasshoppers until we see one or two frosts, and then the grasshoppers will go off and die. But until then, grasshopper fishing, let's grab one of these. And there's a bunch of different grasshoppers. See the big thighs on these guys?
Yeah.
Size and color are the most common two factors when you're picking any bugs, but with a grasshopper, it floats, it's made of foam, it's going to sit on top of the water. And the fish love these because it's a big morsel of food compared to something that size, right?
Right.
So this gives them a lot of energy.
What if you catch like a live grasshopper and you put it on the hook? Does that work?
I mean, you might be able to do it, but probably since they're delicate, it might
just shatter.
You cast it out and it might break off.
Got it.
But they would probably come up and eat it. And then off of this, you would tie some material and you'd have a second little bug down low, floating down in the water column deeper. Hopper, dropper.
Wow! I knew the name. I never knew the science behind the name, and now I've learned the actual reason for the hopper dropper.
Yeah, and I think right now, The fishing that will do the best, would be most productive, would be a hopper.
Okay.
Hoppers also will substitute for basically a bobber for fly fishing, which is called a strike indicator. And a strike indicator, I didn't bring one, but it's a small round ball that you tie onto your fly line in case you're fishing down in the rocks with your flies that sink, then you'll know if a fish eats it. But when you're fishing with a hopper, this can actually double as a strike indicator because you're going to have another fly tied down here. And if they eat this one will go under. So it acts like a bobber too, right?
That's nice and convenient.
Yeah, it is.
Less things that you need.
You're
the more you know.
Yeah, exactly. And they do come up and eat these right now. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to end up fishing with a hopper and maybe a small dropper. But I want to tie a knot with you first, okay?
Right.
Just to show you basic knots.
Cool.
So there's a couple knots that we use to tie all of our gear together. When you're tying the fly on, whether it's a hopper or any of these other flies, and this is going to be
The fly.
the fly, right?
Okay.
So then that's going to be where you tie the line
All right.
on, right?
This is the line.
And this is going to be the line. This is the perfect size for you, okay?
It
So you
is.
can see it, we can work down, because she said she doesn't have a lot of dexterity in those small little giraffe hands of hers.
My dainty fingers, they're just not the best for these tiny
So you're going to
little
practice.
steps.
I'm going to show you what we do.
Okay.
So you put it through, okay? Then you're going to take the little tag end. This is obviously attached to your rod, so you can't
Right.
do anything with that, right? You're going to wrap it around, they say 5 times, okay? But we'll just do it a couple times, 2 or 3 times to get the effect.
Okay.
5 times, then you put it back through the hole that you started, right?
Okay.
You want to wet it down with some spit or some water from the river, okay? And then you're going to slide it right up against the eye of the hook.
Wow. Okay.
And then you trim this piece off, not too close. This is called a clinch knot. There's another way to make it a little more stable. It's called the improved clinch knot, but that's the basic knot that we use.
Okay.
You going on a guided trip, unless you want to learn how to do it, you're never going to have to do that with any guide service anywhere. They do it all for you, okay?
But I think part of the thing about doing the guide service, and maybe for some, is that they get to learn, so they can take themselves out and do this later, and so learn the skills.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? If you have people that just come out here once a year and they live in the city and they don't get a chance to do this very often, they're not going to probably do it at home. But people that maybe live here, that are interested in it, that want to embrace the outdoors a little bit more. Okay.
1, 2,
So far, so good.
3.
3.
I did 3 like you.
No, wait, where did you? Okay, you're good there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mine's not as pretty, but it works.
Okay, so let's just say that's your clinch knot. Okay. Now we're going to
Oh, do it in
we're going to do it on a little more scale. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you the basics on how to do this too, okay? We're going to take a bigger fly because it has a bigger hole on it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put it through the hole, right?
Right.
Like we did on that one. And then we're going to hold the fly. See how I'm stabilizing it right here? Wrap it around. Once again, I'm just going to do it 3 times. So you see how I keep this taut in my hand though? It makes it easier to wrap it around, right? Then I
Right.
just grab and pass my fingers around. And then I'm going to pass it through wherever that hole is there, right in through the first hole that I made. There it is. There.
Made like
Okay.
a microscope. To be
And then
able
you
to
wet
do
it down, you slide it up, and then you trim that off, okay?
Okay.
Clinch knot. There's a lot of different knots you can use, but this is probably one of the most common, okay? You want to see if she can do it? Here you go. It doesn't have to be pretty.
Well, it's not going to be pretty.
But here's the deal, like while you're doing that, I'm going to let people know, like the knots are part of the four quarters of fly fishing, I like to call it. You have the first quarter, which is casting the rod the right way. The second piece is selecting the right bugs. The third piece is fishing in the right spot. And the fourth piece is making sure that you're using the right knots and that they're seated and that they hold, because you could have 3/4 of everything working, but if a fish comes up and bites your fly and you lose it because the knot didn't hold, then even though you had the right fly in the right spot, casting it the right way, this has to work for you too, or you're SOL basically. Got it?
Yeah, I almost got the hook in my hand, but I did it.
Okay, you did do it.
I
Okay,
did it.
So that's a clinch knot, okay?
Got it. All right, so now that we've gone through the flies, we've learned some knots.
I'll
What do you
tell
say
you
we
what,
get in the water?
we'll go, I'll go grab a fishing rod and
Okay.
we'll maybe just talk about some of the basics.
Okay.
I think what's going to happen is though, we probably won't like legitimately fish in this area because it does get it gets a lot of pressure from kids and dogs and rocks and everything.
Right. We're
So
just gonna
I think
learn.
we'll go do the basics on the cast and a few things you can work on, and then probably for the next segment we'll actually go to another part of the Eagle River where we know there's fish, where we can catch fish. Okay, so we'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you into Rugs Benedict to come explore our 12,000 square foot showroom. We've been serving the Vail Valley for over 50 years now with flooring needs, and we inventory a ton of product from Carpet One to provide the very best values, highest style. We just built a warehouse, 15,000 square foot warehouse in gypsum. So we have over 120 different broadloom carpets. We have a lot of waterproof wood flooring, things that we can install right away. We have employee installers, a lifetime installation warranty. Many of them have been with us for decades, and they're true craftsmen in their work. They're absolutely extraordinary at installing any of the flooring that we provide. We also have over 1,000 area rugs in stock right now, and they start at 2x3s. I could bring these into the studio today, but they go all the way up to 12x16s, and we have them hanging on the racks just like shopping for clothing. So it's very easy for you to just flip through, see what's available. We'll deliver them to your house so you can check out how they look in your space with your lighting. All different sizes, all different shapes, some things that are going to be a little bit more contemporary as well as tribal, traditional, all the latest and greatest looks. We have things that are hand knotted, silk, woolen silk options, all the way down to some machine made indoor outdoor type rugs. So really anything that you're looking for your business, for your home, for a rental, Rugs Benedict can provide it. And one thing I consistently hear when people leave our showroom is, that was so easy, thank you so much. So we make the process very easy. Come in, take a look, and we'd love to offer you a free estimate. Look forward to seeing you in our showroom.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Time to rise and shine? There's no better way to start your day off than with the Good Morning Vail crew. You asked for more and TV8 delivered. Good Morning Vail is here for you with your local news, sports, weather, and community events every morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. No matter the season, we give you a reason to watch, so grab your coffee and join the fun. Live stream us at tv8vail.com or on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. And remember, there's more for you on 92.
Good morning, Vail.
Before the break, we were watching Mark teach us all about fly fishing. I'm loving this Monday, all outdoors, and it's beautiful out there. Now our collaboration with the Covered Bridge, we're going to do an outdoor segment. Let's check it out.
Hello and welcome to Covered Bridge on TV8. I'm Kim Fuller, the co-founder of Jaunt Media Collective and editor-in-chief of Covered Bridge magazine.
I'm Bobby LaRue, the other half of Jaunt Media Collective and the director of partnerships over at Covered Bridge magazine. And today we have the pleasure of sitting down with Sandy Ferguson Fuller, who did an amazing feature called Happy Trails for our upcoming issue. And like many of us, she's had the pleasure and joy of venturing to Piney River Ranch. And Sandy, where did this kind of come from, the impetus of writing about Piney River Ranch and your experience with it?
Well, the theme of your forthcoming Covered Bridge is journey. Mm-hmm. And there hasn't been a greater journey than my experiences really in the Vail Valley, starting from the very first year of Vail all the way to now. And had children and needed to have a place where I could go put them in a tent and we could go fishing and go hiking and feel safe and not encounter a lot of people. And at that point in time, which was about the early 1990s, I would say, the three of us with our dog would go up to Piney Lake every summer. It was a tradition, and we would camp a couple of years. One year it was in a blizzard, and we were the only people there. But I've always felt very, very attached to the area, to Piney, and my current dog is named Piney after the lake. I was very fortunate to camp with you when you were growing up. And I was also very fortunate a couple of years ago to attend your wedding there. So it's been, throughout the years, a very special place.
So the cat's out of the bag. This is my mother-in-law and her mom.
Yep.
Right.
It's been really fun to work with my mom in magazines. So you have a long history of publishing. We did a segment with you. You do a lot of book reviews for the magazines and a lot of long-form articles like this one, Happy Trails, as well as illustration.
Right.
So it's been a joy, and I think this piece, you know, when we start to work on our magazines, we put out a theme, and our writers come forward with some ideas, and this was sort of like screaming from the rooftops for you. You're like, I just feel this in my bones.
Right.
But what came out of the piece wasn't just a personal narrative or a first-person essay. It was a woven narrative of history, and the history of your history there, the history of people visiting the lake for the first time, and really through the years, starting in the 1800s. And I'd love to read an excerpt from this feature. So I'll dive right in. So September, it's dawn, early 1800s. A mist blankets the alpine lake as warm water meets chilly air. Rainbow trout rise to paint surface ripples. From the willows, a bull moose slowly ventures out for breakfast, heavy head dipping low, then lifting, dripping with a mouthful of aquatic plants. An eagle spreads its shadow high across the landscape as the sun rises behind the Gore Range. Perhaps a solitary ute lingers, but otherwise no human is present to observe the beauty. Imagining Piney Lake in the early 1800s, what did you learn about that area and the lake from your research?
Well, when I started to write the article, and one thing that's interesting about writing for magazines is that you're supposed to have a limited word count.
Yes.
And I was not too far into the idea for the article until I realized this was much more of a story than I had ever imagined, just going way back. Ironically, there's very little written history about Piney Lake itself. Piney River Ranch is starting to collect more photographs, tidbits of information everywhere they can, but it was scraping the barrel to find anything. So my idea was to go chronologically, to go back as far as I could. Mount Powell is the prominent mountain behind the lake and in the Gore Range. And John Wesley Powell was the famous explorer who discovered the Grand Canyon, well, didn't discover, but pretty much discovered the Grand Canyon. And on his way, climbed in the Gore Range at Long's Peak, Pikes Peak. And so they ultimately named the mountain after him. So that was in the 1800s, and I started there. And then fast forward, just took each kind of major segment of history, only gave it a paragraph. But when the homesteaders came, and the wildlife and how they had to change, and the Native Americans, and then we had the railroads were there, and then we had development in Colorado. The Denver Water Board ended up buying the land from private homesteading, and then going from the 1960s when that was done all the way to the present and the current owners of the land, and all of the ups and downs, the roller coaster ride that people have had trying to walk that fine line of recreating the area and also preserving it preserving the land for the wildlife, for the beauty of the land. And very fortunately, the current regime at Piney River Ranch, they're all on the same page. They're on the same page with the Colorado Parks and Wildlife, who we also brought in to talk to. I was able to talk to one of the original wranglers who lives in Denver now. He was fascinating, Bob Woods. And everybody who has a spot in their heart for Piney is actively trying to still maintain that preservation while opening up the area so that other people can enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think those of you who have not read the article yet, what I have, the thread that you tied through to that, to anyone, it kind of when it passed hands throughout history, everyone seemed to understand the value of preserving this special place. I would have never had the opportunity to go there because I didn't show up to Colorado until 13 years ago, and I can't say how special it is just driving up to the lake. It's not rapid. You can't get there quickly.
No, you can't.
There's no way to get there fast. There are many people there, but they take the time to journey up to Piney River Ranch.
Right.
And once you're up there, you've nailed it from the 90s when you were bringing your kids there. There's a feeling. There's something special about the area. And to read that in your article is really cool. So I'm excited for people to actually get to see this article when it comes out in our summer issue.
I'm really excited for it, and I wanted to really thank, just publicly, the people who helped me with this article. Matt McKenna, who he's in New York, but he and his wife have a place in Wolcott, and they're longtime visitors to the valley, and he's really the main owner, along with some of his business colleagues, and then Monique, who is the general manager, who also plans all the weddings, but she's got a plate full. But she has been wonderful in just providing information and again, more color about the current direction that they're trying to establish at Piney. And then Devin Duvall was amazing with Colorado Parks and Wildlife. I mean, I learned so much from him about how they're working with the Forest Service and with Piney River Ranch. And it's just a combined effort to make sure that the land is preserved. And then I can't not mention my cowboy in Denver. Monique put us together on the phone, and he was just full of stories and is very excited to see the article. There's the picture of him in I think that's going to appear in the article.
We do also have an illustration from you in the back of the magazine. So our parting shot is that last look, that last feeling that is a nod to the theme, and you had suggested something to do, possibly with Happy Trails, and it really did make sense to walk away from, the ranch or the lake and say, kind of see you next time, Happy Trails. And that was Bob. There's a quote from him.
Yes, I said, we'd love to have your words at the end of the magazine. So he said, I don't know, but he came up with them, and apparently I'd never seen this. I don't know why. There's a trail, a sign as you leave Piney River Ranch now, and it says Happy Trails. That's the sign that I used in the illustration, and perfect for a journey. So.
Well, thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Mom, for bringing me and my brother Scott up to Piney for so many years in the 90s when it actually was still kind of crowded at times then, and now it continues to attract a lot of people because it's absolutely gorgeous. But I think echoing your sentiment to continue to preserve and respect the rules and boundaries of camping and just general use up there, and to support the business that is the ranch and enjoy your time visiting. So thank you for writing the feature. It's a wonderful addition to our journey issue of Covered Bridge, and we thank you for joining us, for watching Covered Bridge on TV8. We'll see you next time. Happy trails.
Recently, I had the opportunity to sit down with two locals who helped bring a smile to my face, and hopefully all of you viewers, once you watch this episode, on Vail's Precision Lawn Chair Demonstration Team, with Richard Carnes and Josh Hall telling us all about this wonderful organization. Please join us today to watch that episode, and will it bring a smile to your face as it did mine?
I'm Raisa Pascal.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. Welcome to Life, Love, Shopping. Have any personal stories you can share?
Do I? Yes, I do. So even though you work for...
Some good deals, too good to miss on Flash Deals now. Check this out.
Studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology, to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Vail Skin and Lashes, located in the heart of Avon, offers a full array of aesthetic and medical treatments and services. We feature only the highest quality products in an upscale medical-grade skincare boutique. Experience this luxurious, welcoming, and inviting environment. We are dedicated to providing expert personalized care, artistry, wellness, beauty. That's Vail Skin and Lashes Medical Spa.
Join us on the Leadville Railroad. This fun-filled train ride takes you and your family on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for a half-day trip of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Book your adventure on the Leadville Railroad today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Good morning, Vail.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters. This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
We are on the river with Maddie and Mark now. I can't wait to check this out and learn even more about fly fishing. Check it out.
So we went through the knots, we went through the insects a little bit. Yeah. You're geared up, and now like the fourth piece of it all is, for one, you have a fly rod. We make sure we have the right flies tied onto it. And then we also try to figure out where in the river do you go and fish, because you can't just fish anywhere and expect to catch fish.
Right.
The fish congregate in certain areas for certain reasons, okay? So, if you were a fish in the middle of the summer, and you understand that warmer water temperatures
are unhealthy,
and you know that the water is colder the deeper you go, right?
And the more in the shade you are.
So if you were a fish, would you rather hang out in the shallow, sunny water, or maybe the shaded, maybe the deeper water?
Definitely the deeper water.
Okay, so that's one thing to think about. So when we stand here and you look around, there's certain places that are shaded and shallow, sunny and shallow, sunny and deep, shaded and deep. Anywhere for starters where there's deeper water, you're probably going to find fish, okay?
Right.
So keep that in mind when you fish. The guides obviously will take you out and show you where to cast and how to cast and what you're supposed to do with the rod to manipulate it to present the fly to the water so it looks as natural as possible to the fish.
Okay.
If you cast the rod out and your fly hits the water and then the current starts dragging your fly faster than the water's moving, it doesn't look natural. The fish probably won't eat it.
Right.
Okay? So we have a technique, it's called mending, where you actually create slack in your line after you cast it. So you get as long of a natural float with the speed of the current as you can with your fly.
Okay.
And mending is a big part of fishing with the dry flies. It's a big part also with the indicators and the nymphs, but it's more with the dry flies because they're so affected by all the currents, and they're honestly supposed to just sit on top of the water and float as calm as possible. Okay? On the flip side of that, flip side,
Got it. Flip
if you're a
side.
grasshopper and you live in a tree or live on the shore, okay, let's just say Maddie's a grasshopper.
I'm a grasshopper.
She lives in the bushes.
I
And
live
she's
in the
on
bushes.
a branch, and the wind comes and knocks you off the branch into the water, okay?
I'm gonna panic to get out of there
Okay,
as quickly as
perfect.
possible.
So when you're fishing with a grasshopper, it's not as imperative for it to float as calm as possible because in real life, grasshoppers are panicking a little bit.
Right.
So they're gonna flutter around a little bit. So if that fly moves every once in a while, it's okay.
Okay.
All right? If you're fishing with a tiny little dry fly that is very well aware of being in the water, they're gonna sit perfectly still. So if you can't make that fly sit still, the fish is gonna know and it probably won't go up and eat it, okay?
Okay.
All right. With that being said, this is a short fly rod. This is a 7-foot 3-weight rod. Most of the rods we fish with are 9-foot 5 weights. That's pretty common. But for smaller water, smaller flies, this is a great rod, okay?
Okay.
Rods come in different stiffnesses like skis and golf club shafts, right?
Got it.
This one's got a real soft front end, so it's going to be real noodly, okay? They make rods that are much stiffer for different applications, okay?
Got it.
Okay, so once you figure out what the application is you're going to fish in, if you end up fishing down the road, then that's the direction you go with finding the right action for your rod, okay?
Got it.
Okay. We tied on the hopper.
It's pink.
Tied on the hopper. And what do we have behind it, Maddie?
The hook and a little dropper.
That's a dropper behind it, okay? So a hopper dropper. So this is going to float on the surface, and this one is going to sink down, a couple feet.
Okay.
Okay. If the fish eats that one, this one's going to disappear.
Got it.
Or the fish might actually come up and eat that.
Okay.
But first, I want to kind of show you a little bit of casting, so you can
Okay.
kind of start with that. So let's come back over here. We're going to cast kind of in that direction, okay?
All right.
So, did
Got
you ever
it.
spin fish have you ever used a
Yeah.
spinning rod?
Yeah.
So really, it's all with a spinning rod, Maddie. It's all about the weight of the lure that sends it out to the target, right?
Right.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All you do is press the button and cock your wrist and let it go.
Right.
With a fly rod, there's no weight built into these little flies, right? So you can't rely on the fly.
You got to rely on yourself.
You got to rely on yourself partially, but it's all about the casting motion to get the fly out to the target. So unlike spin fishing where you just go back and you whip it, you got to have a little rhythm to it, okay? It's not about power, it's about finesse.
Got it. All about the finesse.
Especially with a smaller rod and smaller water. So I'm going to pull out some of this fly line and show you some of the basics, okay?
Okay.
We bring it back and we just gently toss it out, right?
Okay.
And then you follow it. See that?
Yep.
We're not doing a lot of this. We don't need to. We'll pull out a little more fly line and we'll gently toss it out, okay? And we'll follow it. That's pretty natural, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If we need to do a mend, basically after you cast, you take the tip of the rod, picture it like a paintbrush, and you're going to paint your fly line into a backwards C with a fly line, okay? So like this. You go like this, and then we're going to go like that with it, right? See how we made a big loop now?
Yeah.
Now once we do that, the current's going to affect that first and not your fly. So when you're fly fishing, mending is a big piece of it all the time.
Good morning, Vail.
It's that time where we're talking Sun and Ski Sports Product of the Week. Now, if you're making your way out to do any water activities, it's important that you have the right protection with you, and especially since our water levels are so high from all of that precipitation that we saw over the course of the winter and now that snow runoff. So right now, I've got the Onyx Move Vent Life Vest in front of me. This vest has some great features to it, one of which being soft, lightweight foam flotation. Now, if you are looking for this in your kayaks or in your canoes and you want that nice mesh back, well then it has that feature, making it more comfortable for you to sit anywhere where there's a high back and you need to be nice and safe out there. Now, as you're making your way out into the water, there is a built-in whistle so that if you need to be heard, you can make yourself heard with this lovely whistle. There's also some nice reflection pieces, making it easy for you to be seen as you're out there, and especially if you're doing it first thing in the morning or later into the afternoon when you're out there on the rivers or on the lakes. So make sure that you stop by Sun and Ski Sports and you check out all of their great inventory for these nice pieces that are going to keep you safe out there on the waters. Now, you can always go to their website at sunandski.com for some more information or for some more fabulous products that'll keep you safe out there on the water.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Show. We are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
I'm Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
TV8 Vail is serving the community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Stop by for Good Morning Vail at 7 a.m. and stay all day for lifestyle favorites such as Good Day Vail, Daily Flash, Suki and Scott, and more. And you're sure to find the adventure you crave with back-to-back episodes of Scoreboard Nation and Outdoor America. Find us all day, every day on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on tv8vail.com, and on all our social media platforms. There's more for you on Channel 92. Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you" on 92? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on mountain perspectives and our new Spanish programming block coming this fall. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website at tv8vail.com.
Hi there. Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. We have had a fly fishing morning and I'm not mad about it. Let's check out the finale with Mark and Maddie and the fly fishing extravaganza.
So
the mending.
Yeah, so mending is creating slack line in the line between your rod and the fly. So you cast it out, then you make a C backwards. Current's going to affect that first and not your fly. You cast it out, and you take the tip and make a little C. See that? Little C backwards. Little C. And then sometimes during one cast, you'll make 10 of these to keep creating slack. And depending upon what the current's doing, if there's an eddy and it's coming back at you, you'll do a downstream mend and then an upstream mend. You're always watching that fly to get it to be as natural as possible in the water. Okay. And we don't need to slam it down. Okay?
I got it, the
it's all
finesse.
about waiting and then just let it go out nice and easy.
Okay.
And then do a little mend, okay? Another suggestion for you, you make the cast, and then that line will go behind your finger, okay?
Okay.
If you get a bite, you lock that finger and you gently pick the rod tip up.
Okay.
And the fish will go the other way and they'll set the hook on themselves. You don't need to
yank
pull
it.
the head off the fish.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's just try a little bit to start. Okay.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
And I do it with the hand that I use as my dominant hand.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna help you out. So you go ahead. You can do one first. Okay. Point your rod tip where you want it to go. So picture
Okay.
over there, okay?
Right.
You don't need two hands. Get rid of that hand. Loosen up your shoulder, loosen up your elbow, and just go nice and easy up and nice and easy down, okay? One thing you're doing automatically, picture the face of a clock over your shoulder right here,
Okay.
right? There's midnight, there's noon.
Mm-hmm.
That's 10 o'clock. Look right here. 10, 2.
Uh-huh.
Try to stay between like 10 and 1-ish, okay?
Okay.
Front cast. You just came back to about 6 o'clock on the back cast.
Got it.
Okay, so try to stop up high and then put it right out there. It'll come out, it'll go out better, okay? Okay, give it a little bit more of a, give it a little more pop off the water. Pop to stop, go. Better. Yep, see that?
Okay.
And once you get that basic down, then you can try doing one of those mends. 3 o'clock, Maddie. Try one.
Watch out! I don't want to hit you with the.
You're okay. You got this.
Oh no, it's not there. It's there.
Good.
It's there. It's there. Okay, I thought I lost it for a second. Oh, 3 o'clock, Mark.
Awesome. That's better. That was better right there. Okay, so now while you're doing it, look up here and see where your rod is. You do your cast and see where you go. Go forward. There you go. Good.
Okay.
Okay. Put one out there and then do a little mend for me. And that's right. You just want to wiggle the tip of the rod just a little bit. One more time. Let me show you. If you pull it too hard, you're going to drag the fly, right?
Right.
So it's really just very subtle.
Okay.
Just the tip of the rod, okay?
Just a little C.
Little. Gentle C. There you go.
Okay.
But you want to make sure that you're seeing the C, right?
Right.
And we have that leader. Let me put a little more line out so you can actually see the fly line. Okay, now watch. Out there. See the C in the water right here?
Yeah.
Yep. So just make sure you're kind of
I gotta get my power stance on that.
Thanks for falling. You don't need a power stance. Okay, maybe you do. Here you go.
I think the power stance brings some confidence in it.
Okay. Little men. Okay. Okay. Shoot more towards the camera. Okay. Okay. Now take this hand, let go of the fly line. Pull a little bit of line out with your hand out of the reel. Pull it out. Now pinch it off again. And then wiggle the tip and let that line come out. Okay, now do it again with a little more line, okay? Don't come back so far. The more line you keep out, the more line you cast with, the less far you have to come back.
Okay.
Okay, because there you go, good, 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 good. And try not to drag it if you can, all right? Now, if we didn't just stir all the water up with camera guys and with what's going on, there's a good chance with what you have happening right now that you possibly could catch a fish. But I think with what we're up against, probably not. But that's fine because this is a training camp of sorts, right?
Right.
I think the plan will be to approach this again with our next little installment with you actually on the water. I have all my stuff and we're actually going to go and fish, and we're going to fish until we catch fish.
I love it.
But this is just, here, pass me that. That's just one way to present, okay?
Okay.
I mean, there's times when you'll see people and they'll be doing a lot of this kind of stuff, right? They're going to carry a lot of line in the air, right?
Right.
To go really far, because that's the cool thing to do, because they all saw a river runs through it.
Right.
And you can mend that far too, like that, see? But you don't always have to fish far like that. You can always also fish nice and close. And this is a smaller, more wiggly rod, so fishing far like that, you lose a lot of control once you start incorporating a lot more distance into it. But there is a lot of different things that we can do, okay? So if the hopper dropper isn't working, oh, see that wiggle?
Yeah.
That could have been a fish. If the hopper dropper isn't working, then we're going to have more flies to find something that will work.
Okay.
Okay. What do you think so far about this whole fishing thing?
I think it's great until I have to touch the fish.
And that's part of it. That's why you have a fishing guide with you, right?
Right.
Or a net.
Well, that's why you're going to teach me.
Well, let me explain real quick. So for me, since I've been kind of fishing for a long time, I have more enjoyment sometimes not actually fishing, but watching other people fish and catch fish. So that's another piece that people can get out of doing what we do.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It's about a way to disconnect and to be out on the river. It's pretty mesmerizing, isn't it? Peaceful?
It's
right?
so peaceful.
I saw fish rising over there. I thought maybe we could get it. So what do you say? Next up, we actually go and do it all, okay?
I'm in.
You are?
I'm so in. Yeah, the journey has started. Now we have to finish it.
Yeah, but then that's the start. Once it's finished, it's started.
I know.
Because then you have to do it more.
Yeah, I'll just come hang out with you and have you take me.
I love it. Okay, I'm good. You good?
I'm good.
All right, everybody. Mark and Maddie, we'll be right back. Have a good day. Be safe. Don't fall.
Good morning, Vail.
Join us on the Leadville Railroad. This fun-filled train ride takes you and your family on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for a half-day trip of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Book your adventure on the Leadville Railroad today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
TV8 se complace en compartir que nos estamos preparando para lanzar nueva programación en español. Pero antes de hacerlo, queremos saber de ti, nuestra increíble comunidad, sobre lo que tú quieres ver. Por eso, te invitamos a un evento especial en nuestro estudio el 12 de julio a las 6 de la tarde. Ven a compartir tus ideas, opiniones y visiones sobre el futuro de nuestra programación en español. Ya sean eventos locales, programas educativos o entretenimiento, queremos que tú formes parte de este proceso y ayudes a dar forma a nuestra programación. No te pierdas esta maravillosa oportunidad de ser parte de televisión que te refleja y te representa. Para más información y para confirmar tu asistencia, visita tv8vail.com. TV8 is excited to share that we're preparing to launch new programming in Spanish. But before we do, we want to hear from you, our incredible community, about what you want to see. That's why we invite you to a special event at our studio on July 12th at 6 p.m. Come share your ideas, opinions, and visions regarding the future of our Spanish programming. Whether it's local events, educational programs, or entertainment, we want you to be a part of this process and help shape our Spanish programming. Don't miss out on this wonderful opportunity to be a part of television that reflects and represents you. For full details and to RSVP, visit tv8vail.com.
Show. We are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
I'm Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
Tune into Coffee with America and start your day in the right direction, where we go over the latest and greatest in health, lifestyle, entertainment, and more. Start your day off on Coffee with America.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail, the 8 o'clock hour. I love that we have a second hour. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. We have some really cool things in store for you. A virtual book club, which I've never heard of and can't wait to check out. All things about a COVID-free summer, which is very, very important. And eating light with our very own Tracy Miller. So keep it right here because guess what? Good Morning Vail starts right now.
in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Welcome to the TV8 Weather Center. Happy Monday, gorgeous day out there. Let's check out that sunshine. As you can see, 8 a.m., 58 degrees, a high of 79. Sunny and beautiful day. Soak up that sunshine, have some fun. I am stoked on summer. 8 a.m., 58 degrees and sunny. Noon, 73 sunny. 4 p.m. even warmer, dig that, 77 and sunny. 8 p.m. temperatures cooling off a little bit, 69 and sunny. Now for the I-70 corridor. You can see that Eagle is going to be 86, very warm, so take your sunscreen and definitely make sure and lather up today. Avon 81 degrees, Vail 79, and Denver a whopping 90 degrees. Talk about a summer sunshiny day. I dig it. A low of 52 degrees tonight. Beautiful evening to open up your windows and have a light breeze coming in. For your 5-day forecast, Tuesday, mostly sunny, 77. Wednesday, 79 and sunny. Thursday, 75 and partly cloud, well, mostly sunny. Not even partly cloudy. Friday, mostly sunny and 73 degrees. And then Saturday, 75 and mostly sunny. It's going to be a beautiful week out there. Get on out there, soak up that sunshine, and keep right here for more of TV8.
Good morning, Vail.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
When people think of world-class destinations, they're drawn to a place that provides opportunities for fine dining, shopping, superior lodging, exciting events, and unparalleled outdoor activities. Park City, Utah, and Vail, Colorado are renowned destinations for travelers and extraordinary homes for residents. Feature your exceptional products and services in these two luxury communities. Advertise with Park City Television and TV8 Vail. Contact us today.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. We've had such an exciting Monday morning, and now our very own Ben is talking to some experts about having a COVID-free summer. Let's check it out.
Welcome back to the show. As summer is starting to kick off, we've got a lot of events coming up, which means spending a lot more time with other people. And so we've got Lily Griego joining us from the Department of Health and Human Services, and she's going to help us with a little bit of advice on how to stay healthy over the course of the summer. Welcome to the show, Lily.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Of course. So, despite the fact that COVID isn't quite as big of an issue these days, and it's not dominating our lives, it's still very much present, correct?
Absolutely correct. Spot on. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So, are there any advice that you might have for us just to kind of help keep ourselves safe when we're out at family barbecues or social events out at the park?
Absolutely. So just to cover some basics, folks may have already heard this information. If it's the first time that you're hearing this, I welcome the opportunity to engage your audience and let them know that vaccines are still widely available. You can go to vaccines.gov. Look for a place near you to get a vaccination. Why are we still talking about this? Because we are still seeing folks who get sick from COVID. We're still seeing some hospitalizations, and on a very, serious note, we want to talk about that we're still losing human lives from COVID. So we really want to say thank you to those who have gotten vaccinated. And looking ahead to the summer, just think about when you have a family gathering or a barbecue, graduations are occurring, weddings are occurring, or if you happen to be in a place that has poor ventilation. Think about the fact that you want to protect yourself and others around you. Get the vaccination. If you haven't had a vaccination since September of 2022, it may have waned, so you may consider an updated vaccination. Another layer of protection would be wearing a mask if you feel so inclined to do so. One other thing that comes to mind, we've heard this since we were little kids, wash your hands frequently, use soap and water. And if for any reason you don't have access to soap and water for, let's think about maybe camping or being close in the mountains with one another and then riding back in a car, hand sanitizer is always a good resource as well.
Ever since the pandemic started off, I've been keeping a bottle of hand sanitizer in the driver's side door of my truck, and it has been a game changer for me. Like, whenever I manage to get something sticky on my hands, it's just great. I can get it right off there. It's a great way to just kind of keep up on maintaining that hygiene. So
same here. I have some in my purse. I have some in my car. Wherever I need to be, if it's at work or if it's on the road, we travel frequently to engage with folks in our region. And so having some hand sanitizer nearby is a helpful tool always.
Of course. So if anybody is deciding whether or not they're needing a new vaccination or if they need to get their vaccine updated, how can they best determine that?
So several resources are available. I've already mentioned vaccines.gov to go to a place where you can find, again, assuming you have access to a computer and access to the internet, you can go online and find a location near you. But one of the other methods that you can implement is talk to your doctor. Talk to the pharmacist at the location listed on vaccines.gov. Talk to a trusted advisor in the healthcare industry and ask them, what are my considerations here? Why should I be concerned about this? One of the things I would note is that we have seen long COVID in several folks, whether you have been vaccinated or not, you are susceptible to getting COVID, and we want to avoid folks getting long COVID. The symptoms around long COVID sustain over time and have serious implications. So we want folks to be safe, engage safely with family and friends, and attend functions in the outdoors or in indoors and feel confident that they're protected.
So when they're looking for that extra information, does DHS have a hotline or something that you guys could call or that people might be able to call, say if they're not able to get to their local pharmacy?
So we have the information online, I believe, and please forgive me for not having a phone number prepared. There are two resources that you can use. You can text a number, you can text a location, I think it's your zip code, and I'll get that phone number for you momentarily. And then you get resources back on your phone. The other option that we've mentioned is vaccines.gov. Our office is available as well, serving Colorado and Utah, Wyoming, Montana, the Dakotas, and 30 tribal nations. So again, my name is Lily Griego, and you can find us on the internet. We would be happy to visit with folks one-on-one, but I really encourage folks to go to vaccines.gov.
Well, and it sounds like that text hotline is a fantastic way to get useful information that you can continue to refer to, because it'll just be right there on your phone and you can check back if you say, forgot it.
Absolutely. If you don't mind, I actually texted it this morning just to test it myself. Little unconventional here, but the number that I mentioned previously, have it on my phone, 438829. Just text your zip code and it'll give you some information that will be very useful for you wherever you live.
Oh, that's fantastic. So if people are trying to, or if they're getting ready to go get their vaccine updated, is there any like health or safety guidelines that you would recommend people follow when they're preparing to get their vaccine updated or preparing to get their vaccine for the first time?
Yes, actually, if you, again, same website, go to vaccines.gov. We have a plethora of information. Also, if anything that you think of when it comes to health, HHS, or the United States Department of Health and Human Services, we have, again, a plethora of information available online. So if you're concerned about getting the vaccine, being precautionary, or perhaps you're helping a senior friend or a neighbor or a relative, and you want to walk them through that information, there are several tidbits of information to prepare for a vaccination and what to think about afterwards. But again, if you feel confident talking to a healthcare provider or a doctor or a pharmacist, that would probably be another option for folks.
Fantastic. So I know the vaccines have been updated and there's constantly a little bit of changing going on in the various versions of the COVID vaccine. Is there any information that you have about what people can expect with the newer updated versions?
So sometimes it depends on the person if they have a reaction to the vaccines. I was very tired when I got mine, just a slight fever. But other than that, I was fine, and I just felt so protected. The state of mind was just so grateful to have access to the vaccines and be able to feel protected around my senior parents. So those were some of the things that occurred for me and for family members that I've had a conversation with about this. What I can say is that the Biden-Harris administration can now talk about the implementation of our tools and everything that we utilize to ensure that over 270 million Americans were vaccinated and are now safe from this from COVID-19, from the virus that was just so deadly in 2020. And now we see that folks are not inundated in ER rooms or in health clinics. And so this is just a layer of protection to make sure that we can think about other things other than the virus.
And one last question I got for you before I let you go. Do you have any advice for talking to people who might be reluctant to engage in conversations about COVID, or if you're trying to encourage a family member who might be hesitant to go get vaccinated?
One of the things I can say, and I think that this has been a consistent message since the vaccines became available, it's safe. The Biden-Harris administration ensured that they had high access to the vaccines. They were free. You can find them in a variety of locations near you, wherever you live, whether it's rural, whether it's urban, whether it's in the mountains. You have a close proximity to ensure access to the vaccine. The other thing is that for younger folks getting a vaccine, this has been a vaccination that has been tried and tested and is the most safe in the history of our country. So I talk about that it put my mind at ease. It made me feel that I could engage with folks, go into communities, feel protected, and protecting others, whether they were immunocompromised or whether they were senior citizens or the most vulnerable of our population, just little ones. So that's one of the things that I focus on. The other thing is that we want to stay active. We want to be in school, we want to be at work, we want to be engaging with our friends and family. And again, this gets us into community in a safe, effective manner.
Awesome. Well, Lily Griego, thank you so much for joining us and providing all of that wonderful information. And
thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. And if you are interested in finding out more information about vaccines, go to vaccines.gov. There's a ton of super useful information there. And we will be back right after these messages.
Good morning, Vail.
Hello everyone, now is the time to refresh your floors.
I'm Mandy Benedict. I'd love to invite you into our showroom to explore our 12,000 square foot showroom where you can view all different floors installed, see what it looks like in a larger space. One of our greatest growing products is waterproof wood flooring, which for our environment with kids and dogs and ski boot and our mountain lifestyle, this is a great flooring option. I brought one of the planks with me today. They're nice, long, wide planks. They're embossed on grain, so they look beautiful, but they perform really well in our mountain lifestyle. We have all employee installers. They've been working for over a decade with us, and we have a lifetime installation warranty. So not only do we make sure that the client gets what they want, we know what this climate needs. We have beautiful reclaimed floors, herringbone, really anything that you're looking for to update your home or your business. We have it at Rugs Benedict. We provide free estimates. So come in and visit us in the store. We'd love to see you.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. I don't know if you're like me, but I really look up to Tracy. She is an amazing cook. I love seeing all of her recipes and I try them at home. They don't really turn out as well as hers do. But we have some light recipes that Tracy's going to teach us today on Good Morning Vail. Let's check them out.
Hi, I'm Tracy Miller with Colorful Cooking, and today we are going to be cooking up some real goodies. Whether you have people visiting or you're going on a picnic or you just want something really healthy for dinner tonight, I've got you covered right here. We're not wasting any time. We're jumping right on into it. So at first we're going to do the asparagus wraps. Now I've already boiled the asparagus and then I shocked them. So that means you boil them in water until they're done, and these were skinny ones. They took like maybe 3 minutes in boiling water. And then I put them in cold water. That stops the cooking process and keeps the nice vibrant color green. So we're making wraps, super easy. And one of the things when you're making wraps that you want to do is microwave your wraps for like 30 seconds because that's going to make them a little bit easier to roll and a little bit easier to work with. So I've got 3 wraps in here that I microwaved for about 30 seconds. They are flour tortillas, delicious and hearty, and those are going to be the base for our asparagus wraps. We start with mayonnaise and then we've got to add a little sweetness. So this is kind of funny because this is not always a staple at my house, but we're going to put a little ketchup in there as well. That'll give it the sweet flavor, kind of like a Russian dressing, a play on Russian dressing. And then we're going to use a little bit of these chipotles. And now what we're going to do is we are going to put that all over our wrap. So what I've noticed, and I make wraps a lot for my catering company, and what I notice is that if you do a thin layer of the spread all the way around the tortilla, you're going to be in good shape for rolling it and keeping it all together. I have smoked Gouda cheese because this is going to be a smoky wrap. I'm going to put that at the very bottom because what I've noticed is if I try to cut these wraps with asparagus, the asparagus shoots out all over the place. So you really want the asparagus to be on the chipotle so that it doesn't shoot out all over the place when you cut it. Put some lettuce down there. Look at all that. It's like so pretty with all the colors. So then when you roll it, you're just going to go like this. Pull all of that in. Roll it up. I roll these, put them seam side down in the refrigerator, uncovered, because if you cover these flour tortillas with saran wrap, then they're going to get super mushy. Here's the asparagus wraps. I'm going to make one more. We are going to take a quick break. When we return, we're talking all about Brussels sprouts. We're going to get these in the oven, and I'm going to show you how to make a delicious Brussels sprout salad. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Colorful Cooking. We just made some asparagus wraps, which will be great for guests or just for lunch if you're looking for vegetarian. And now we're going to move on. First off, you need to cut the Brussels sprouts. And all the Brussels sprouts, just like with any veggie you're ever working with, they're all different. So when you're baking them, and my oven is at 400 degrees because we're really going to roast these babies, you want everything to be about the same size. So if you're getting some really little Brussels sprouts, then you're not going to want to cut them as much as the big ones. Like this one's a monster, so I'm going to just cut that a little bit more. So we've got these little cuties. They're so cute. They're just like baby cabbages. And then I'm going to put them on my sheet pan. We're going to keep this super simple because the ingredients are fresh and healthy. So mucking them up with a whole bunch of different ingredients is not what we're going to do. Brussels sprouts by themselves. Oven is at 400 degrees. I'm going to pour olive oil over the Brussels sprouts. Doesn't even have to be that much because it's going to kind of melt when you bake it. And then I have a mixture of salt and pepper. This is how I like to do it when I'm in the kitchen. Just make a nice mixture of salt and pepper because that's what I use for everything. And I'm going to really kind of generously cover these Brussels sprouts. And whenever I'm cooking veggies, I definitely put a lot of salt and pepper on them. Okay. The Brussels sprouts, cut up nicely, olive oil, salt and pepper, oven's at 400 degrees. I'm going to pop them into the oven for about 10 minutes. And this is when a little bit of experience is going to let you know, because if you cook those Brussels sprouts just a little bit too long, they're going to have no crunch and they're going to be mushy. And those are the Brussels sprouts that your parents complain about because your grandma used to overcook them all the time. We are going to cook those Brussels sprouts for about 10 minutes. Check them because every veggie is different. We're going to check them, see their doneness, and then put the pears in for about 5 minutes. We've added the pears about 5 minutes before we were finished cooking the Brussels sprouts. And these Brussels took about 10 minutes, but you can expect about 10 to 12 minutes for most Brussels sprouts if you cut them in half. You don't want to overcook them because that's going to make them mushy and gross, and it's going to make your house smell really bad. So we have the pears that I tossed with a little bit of olive oil and some fresh thyme, and I tossed those right there into the Brussels sprouts. So basically, this is the salad. A half a cup of Brussels sprouts is like 28 calories, and it also contains over 100% of your daily recommended dose of vitamin K. So they're really healthy, and if you're looking to get a little more vitamin K, vitamin C they're high in as well, and lots of other minerals. You know, when you're looking for just like a little sliver of certain minerals, you're going to find a lot of that in Brussels sprouts. So here we have the salad. I did sprinkle a little bit of fresh thyme on the salad, on the pears when I put them in the oven, but now I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit more. When you're working with fresh herbs like this, and now this time you have to like definitely get the stems off. So this is a job for the kids. This is what I always give to my kids, and they're like, really, Mom, do we have to do this? But see, if you just kind of do that, then you get the fresh thyme. You don't have to chop it or anything. It's just nice and the little leaves. So we're going to put a little more on that, and then we're going to stir this up a little. Everything's softened up. You can eat this salad warm, or you can eat at room temperature. That's one of the great things about it. And I'm going to tell you what, people are going to like this salad. You're going to be surprised how many people are after your Brussels sprouts when you make this. I like to put a little honey mustard on it. It just brings a sweetness to it and also gives a mustard taste, and mustard and Brussels go really, really nicely together. So I'm just going to stir up my honey mustard, and all this is a combination of sour cream, honey, mustard, and some white wine vinegar, a little salt and pepper, because I put a little salt and pepper on everything. So just lightly put some honey mustard on that, and then there you go. You have your Brussels sprout salad. Super simple, great ingredients. The key to this one is to make sure you cook everything perfectly so that it's not overcooked, and then let it cool down and enjoy it any time of the day. So now we have smoky asparagus wraps, we have a Brussels sprout pear salad, and next we are going to make crab cake. Okay, so you're probably dying to know the biggest secret of making crab cakes, and everybody has their crab cake recipe that they like. Mine, I just like a lot of crab in it, not a lot of filler, but you do need some filler or the crab cakes aren't going to stick together. So the biggest secret is when you buy your crab, and I buy mine from Costco, I get this big one because it's actually delicious crab, but it kind of gets a little wet, so you have to wring it out a little, like I'm gently squeezing the crab. Like, you don't want to be tough with it. It's very delicate. It's delicious. It's tender. And we're just happy that somebody else got it out of the shell for us. But this is what you do. This is the #1 tip, in my opinion, that I can give you to make good crab cakes. You get all of this moisture out of here. See, as you get to the bottom, there's just so much. And then you're going to get a nice sear on your crab cake, and it's not going to steam up. Okay, easy enough. We have all this beautiful crab. It's nice. It's claw meat. It's delicious. I'm going to add some parsley, a little bit of green in there. We are going to add some red onion. Onion's not my favorite, but it's very good for you. And a lot of people like the onion in here, and it's definitely missed if you don't add it. I add a tiny, tiny bit of Creole seasoning, and it doesn't, whatever the Creole seasoning is you have at home, I just add a little bit of that just to give it some flavor. I do add a little salt and pepper. We'll go back to what I said earlier, salt and pepper everything. 1 egg that has been slightly beaten, that's gonna help bind everything together. I do a little bit of mayonnaise to give it a nice creamy texture, and then some breadcrumbs. Ball them up. Look at that, pat them down a little. Squeeze them in on the side, and then I put them in my pan. When I'm dropping them into my pan, I wiggle it around a little bit so that the olive oil goes under all of the crab. These are crab cakes. They are delicious. We will be talking more when we get back. You're watching Colorful Cooking. All right, look at this appetizer platter right here. This is all we did. This could be a full dinner, actually. You could have the asparagus as an appetizer, and then you could have the Brussels sprout salad and the crab cakes as a dinner if you wanted that way, or a very nice lunch. Now I have a quick little basil aioli. It's just a mixture of mayonnaise, sour cream, basil, and lemon juice, and I like to serve that right on top of my crab cakes. If I'm serving for a crowd, I only do it on a few, but if I'm serving for myself, I do it on every single one. I'm Tracy Miller with Colorful Cooking, Brussels sprout salad, asparagus wraps, and crab cakes today. I hope you enjoy these recipes and eat healthy.
Good morning, Vail.
It's that time where we're talking Sun and Ski Sports Product of the Week. Now, if you're making your way out to do any water activities, it's important that you have the right protection with you, and especially since our water levels are so high from all of that precipitation that we saw over the course of the winter and now that snow runoff. So right now, I've got the Onyx Move Vent Life Vest in front of me. This vest has some great features to it, one of which being soft, lightweight foam flotation. Now, if you are looking for this in your kayaks or in your canoes and you want that nice mesh back, well, then it has that feature, making it more comfortable for you to sit anywhere where there's a high back and you need to be nice and safe out there. Now, as you're making your way out into the water, there is a built-in whistle so that if you need to be heard, you can make yourself heard with this lovely whistle. There's also some nice reflection pieces, making it easy for you to be seen as you're out there, and especially if you're doing it first thing in the morning or later into the afternoon when you're out there on the rivers or or on the lakes. So make sure that you stop by Sun and Ski Sports and you check out all of their great inventory for these nice pieces that are going to keep you safe out there on the waters. Now you can always go to their website at sunandski.com for some more information or for some more fabulous products that'll keep you safe out there on the water.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Time to rise and shine? There's no better way to start your day off than with the Good Morning Vail crew. You asked for more and TV8 delivered. Good Morning Vail is here for you with your local news, sports, weather, and community events every morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. No matter the season, we give you a reason to watch, so grab your coffee and join the fun. Live stream us at tv8vail.com or on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. And remember, there's more for you on 92.
Good morning, Vail.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Welcome to the TV8 Weather Center. Happy Monday, gorgeous day out there. Let's check out that sunshine. As you can see, 8 a.m., 58 degrees, a high of 79. Sunny and beautiful day. Soak up that sunshine, have some fun. I am stoked on summer. 8 a.m., 58 degrees and sunny. Noon, 73 sunny. 4 p.m. even warmer, dig that, 77 and sunny. 8 p.m. temperatures cooling off a little bit, 69 and sunny. Now for the I-70 corridor. You can see that Eagle is going to be 86, very warm, so take your sunscreen and definitely make sure and lather up today. Avon 81 degrees, Vail 79, and Denver a whopping 90 degrees. Talk about a summer sunshiny day. I dig it. A low of 52 degrees tonight. Beautiful evening to open up your windows and have a light breeze coming in. For your 5-day forecast, Tuesday, mostly sunny, 77. Wednesday, 79 and sunny. Thursday, 75 and partly mostly sunny, not even partly cloudy. Friday, mostly sunny and 73 degrees. And then Saturday, 75 and mostly sunny. It's going to be a beautiful week out there. Get on out there, soak up that sunshine, and keep right here for more of TV8.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. We've had such an awesome Monday, and I know, as you know, the weather has been absolutely beautiful. Kim is talking to some people about what to do when the extreme heat gets to you outside. It's so very important, so let's check that out.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Now, while the weather here in Vail is just wonderful with 75 degrees, it is heating up across the country, and it is so important to be prepared when getting ready to do things in extreme heat. Joining us today are 2 revolutionaries in science and technology for staying cool in those extreme temperatures. We have Dr. Douglas Casso with us today, and also Chris Valletta, co-founder of Mission. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Now, you both have personal ties to being passionate about making sure people stay cool in extreme heat, because it is definitely the #1 cause of weather-related threats. So tell us a little bit more about your stories.
Sure. I'll go first, I guess. I had an exertional heat stroke when I was competing in a 10K race on the track as a 16-year-old rising senior in high school. And that event shaped my life, and it shaped everything I've done for the last 38 years to try to figure out how to help soldiers, laborers, and athletes utilize known strategies and simple strategies to try to stay safer and perform better in the heat. So my life is certainly mobilized from that near-death experience I had back in 1985.
And then Chris, you're a former NFL player as well, so tell us about you.
Yeah, and for me, the heat in relation to my ability to perform at my best as an athlete, it drastically impacted my game, both cognitively but also physically. It was hard to perform in those elements, and we knew at Mission when we started the company in 2009 that if we could create wearable cooling solutions for the most elite athletes in the world, we could bring those same cooling solutions to anyone who lives, works, or plays in the heat. So whether you're 5 years old or 90 years old, or regardless of where you live and in what conditions, or if you're one of the 30 million industrial athletes in the United States, people that work every day in the heat, we wanted to deliver solutions that would help keep them more comfortable, help keep them safer, and ultimately help improve their performance and productivity, just like we did for some of the best athletes in the world.
I love the purpose behind Mission, and Dr. Casa, what you do as well. So tell us why it is so important to be prepared in extreme heat.
Sure, yeah. I mean, when you exercise in the heat, your body temperature rises faster than it normally would. And if it rises too much, you could be at risk for exertional heat stroke. It's one of the 3 leading causes of death for athletes in America. And it's a known risk for laborers. I mean, people who recreate in the heat. So simple strategies people can utilize. Drinking cold fluids, hydrating when they need it, having the fluids nearby and not relying on rest breaks, just drink whenever you need it. Having cooling strategies, having cold, wet towels on you or using them during breaks or even during exercise, or cooling hats, having shade when possible. Increasing the number of rest breaks and the length of rest breaks when the weather conditions are worse, and backing off on your intensity when the conditions are really bad or if you don't feel well. They're really simple strategies, cost effective, but they have massive implications in helping you stay safe.
I think it's absolutely important to know that you can still get a good workout in if you stay indoors. You don't have to be outside all of the time. Now, Chris, you mentioned you're taking your cooling technology from professional athletes and translating it into the everyday worker that's outside. Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing there. And it sounds like you've been partnering with UPS.
We have, and that's the goal, is to, when you look at the elite athletes, people, our partners at Mission, people like Serena Williams and Drew Brees and Dwayne Wade, who in their iconic careers performed in some of the hottest conditions, you could imagine. And our goal was to build products that could work for them and then bring them to places like UPS, who have a workforce that operates in hot environments. But as we said in our very first meeting with UPS, there is no single silver bullet solution to creating a safer, more productive, more comfortable employee in the heat. Mission creates wearable cooling solutions. We believe that's one of the most important, is that what is physically on the body of the worker, but then what is behind it, what's around it, what are the protocols, what is the awareness and education being delivered, and that is where our partnership with the Corey Stringer Institute and Dr. Casa, who are the leaders in understanding the science and research around heat safety, creates an ecosystem. So we have a partner in UPS that is taking a significant leadership position in creating the blueprint for heat safety for workers across the United States and the world. You've got a company like Mission who creates these product innovations and these solutions and is backed and in partnership with the Corey Stringer Institute, who are the experts. All of those are truly a trifecta that delivers more comfort, obviously improve safety, and ultimately improve performance and productivity so that workers don't even need to be in these elements as much.
I think that's so incredible, the work that you're doing now. Dr. Casa, do you have one piece of advice that you would give to a person who may be outside in extreme temperatures?
Yes, and that is they can control their own destiny. So use the simple solutions like hydration, cooling strategies, shade, having more breaks, listening to their body, that they need to control their outcome, and they need to listen to how they're feeling and make modifications.
Wonderful. Now, this is a question for both of you. This is a really exciting partnership you're doing with UPS, but do you expect other companies to partner with you?
We do, and we already have. Several of the biggest companies in the world have looked to us to provide cooling solutions to their workforce, and UPS has certainly created that blueprint with us over the last a couple of years, it's been a phenomenal partnership. But companies in the airline industry with tarmac workers, we all see them, loading bags on that hot pavement next to, very heavy and hot equipment. Oil and gas workers, manufacturing facilities, I mean, you name it. Municipal workers, I mean, it goes on and on and on. All of them can benefit from active wearable cooling solutions and the protocols so that they themselves, as Dr. Casa said, can control their own destiny. If you are properly hydrated, if you are wearing things that give you sun protection, if you can wear active cooling apparel and accessories, if you can do all of those things, there's a very high likelihood you can avoid a heat-related injury. And that's true for whether you're young, old, or whether you're working every day in the heat.
I think that's absolutely incredible, the work that you're doing now. Where can we go for more information?
Sure. For us, it's ksi.uconn.edu, and UConn's UCONN. That's a website of the Corey Stringer Institute where there's a ton of information related to heat safety and preventing heat illnesses.
And for Mission, it's mission.com, where certainly you can learn about the wearable cooling solutions, but also our relationship with the Corey Stringer Institute, where we've got the Mission Heat Lab, which is where we test products and perform research studies to understand how we can improve worker safety and productivity in the heat.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this morning on Good Morning Vail and being trailblazers in the industry of keeping people hydrated and cool in extreme temperatures. Now head on over to the websites for both, and we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Snooki and Scott show. We are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
Hi, Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
TV8 se complace en compartir que nos estamos preparando para lanzar nueva programación en español. Pero antes de hacerlo, queremos saber de ti, nuestra increíble comunidad, sobre lo que tú quieres ver. Por eso, te invitamos a un evento especial en nuestro estudio el 12 de julio a las 6 de la tarde. Ven a compartir tus ideas, opiniones y visiones sobre el futuro de nuestra programación en español. Ya sean eventos locales, programas educativos o entretenimiento, queremos que tú formes parte de este proceso y ayudes a dar forma a nuestra programación. No te pierdas esta maravillosa oportunidad de ser parte de televisión que te refleja y te representa. Para más información y para confirmar tu asistencia, visita tv8vail.com. TV8 is excited to share that we're preparing to launch new programming in Spanish. But before we do, we want to hear from you, our incredible community, about what you want to see. That's why we invite you to a special event at our studio on July 12th at 6 p.m. Come share your ideas, opinions, and visions regarding the future of our Spanish programming. Whether it's local events, educational programs, or entertainment, we want you to be a part of this process and help shape our Spanish programming. Don't miss out on this wonderful opportunity to be a part of television that reflects and represents you. For full details and to RSVP, visit tv8vail.com.
Here at Sun and Ski Sports, we are all about having the best summer adventures. Our full-service bike shop is here to help you get back on the saddle with services ranging from simple tire changes, full bike overhauls, and rentals. If trail running, hiking, or trips to the lake are your thing, our expert staff will fit you in the best performing footwear or clothing. And don't forget about a relaxing day on the water with our stand-up paddleboard rentals. Call Sun and Ski Sports in Avon or Dillon today, or learn more at sunandski.com/CO.
Join us on the Leadville Railroad. This fun-filled train ride takes you and your family on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for a half-day trip of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Book your adventure on the Leadville Railroad today at leadvillerailroad.com. Vail Skin and Lashes, located in the heart of Avon, offers a full array of aesthetic and medical treatments and services. We feature only the highest quality products in an upscale medical-grade skincare boutique. Experience this luxurious, welcoming, and inviting environment. We are dedicated to providing expert personalized care, artistry, wellness, beauty. That's Vail Skin and Lashes Medical Spa.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. What an awesome Monday we've had thus far. Terry Sidford has such a brilliant and really cool idea. It's a virtual book club. Our very own Ben got to talk to her, so let's check it out.
We are joined by Terry Sidford, an author, podcaster, TEDx speaker, and just general personality. Welcome to the show, Terry.
Thank you for having me.
So you've got a new book club that's just started, right? You had your first one yesterday, I believe. How did that go?
I did. Yes, it was Truth, Courage, Love. It's based on my memoir that was released in January of this year. And I wanted to dive deeper into the book and talk about concepts that I learned in my life journey that's in my book.
So before we get into your book a little bit, tell us a little bit about your book club and kind of what the impetus for that was, how it got started, and does it focus on a specific theme, or does that theme change from week to week?
Good question. What I decided to do is talk about different concepts, which I have many concepts in my book, but the title is Truth, Courage, and Love. So the first meeting last night, we talked about truth and all the aspects of truth and how truth played a part in my life journey and invaluable lessons to overcoming adversity. And then I asked the people, the guests that are joining about the truth in their own life. And I'm hoping that most people that join the book club have read the book. And if not, they can still join and read it later. But we just kind of dived deeper into the concept of truth. And it was very lively, and everyone walked away with a new viewpoint.
It sounds fantastic. So it seems like everything went well. Tell us a little bit about your book and that concept of truth.
Thank you. The book was designed to tell the story of my life, of course, a memoir, and how I turned adversity into incredible life lessons that really led me to the life that I have now. And that is a happy, fulfilling, and successful life. And I want everyone to know when they read my book that it doesn't matter what you've gone through in your life. You really can turn adversity into opportunities, lessons, and you can grow and you can start over. If I can do it, so can you.
So let me ask you a little bit about how you got started in writing in general. I know it's like a lot of people have stories to tell, but sitting down at a blank page can be quite a daunting task. And I know a lot of people can look at that and just give up right away. What was sort of your drive to complete a memoir?
Yes, writing isn't something I thought I would do in my lifetime. In fact, when I grew up, I was horrible at grammar and spelling. So the writing was just not even on the radar. But what happened is I was a life coach for over 20 years, and I was sitting down and having coffee with a friend and telling her how amazing women were, because I mostly worked with women, and that they were really strong, courageous, but never saw it in themselves. My friend asked me, Terry, that's an interesting subject. Wouldn't you like to know the answer to that? I'm like, sure, I would love that. She said, I think you should write a book about it, create a survey, and gather it from 100 women. And I just started laughing. I'm like, no, I can't write a book. I'm not a writer. I can't do that. And she looked me in the eye and said, listen, let's get the information and I will help you write the book. And that's how it all started. And here I am now in my second book. And it was much easier, of course, the second time. But, if you have a story, you have a message out there and you want to get it out in a book or even, in some other form, you can always ask the experts. There's people out there that are willing to help you. So that's my best advice. I never thought I'd be here, and it was really, truly been one of the most rewarding things I've done in my life.
Well, and I guess that brings us to courage a little bit. Having that courage to reach out and ask for help with some of these projects that you might not necessarily have every little bit of information for. Is that the subject of your upcoming book club?
Yes, we talk about that. In fact, our next one, which is going to be on July 26th, we're going to be talking about courage. And that's a huge concept and a very important part of my life. And the things that I'm most proud of that I've accomplished in my life have taken a lot of courage. And it's kind of stepping out into what you think you can't do or you never thought is possible into the possibilities of your life. That's what courage can do. And it's facing the fear, going through it, and getting on the other side. And it's really very exciting when you get to the other side of that.
Well, you mentioned a couple of times, like starting over and taking a new start at life. Is there any advice you have for people that are kind of looking down the barrel of a major change like that?
Yes, I do. Ask for help, first of all. Surround yourself with people that really care about you and have your best interest in mind. And there's always people out there to help you. That's number one. Number two, dig deep and know that who you are inside, that person, that soul, whatever you, spirit, whatever you want to call that, it's whole inside. Go find that person, take some time, and know that all these outside circumstances are really going to be temporary. And you know, take care of yourself, self-care. And then once you get past that step, take the next step. And all of a sudden things will start to seem brighter, and you'll start to see possibilities. And you'll learn from any mistake or anything that has happened in your life. Even if somebody has done something to you, make sure that you do not become a victim. Out-create whatever happened and become that superhero of your life.
It's fantastic advice. And so let me then ask you about how that sort of moves into that love concept as well, like being forgiving perhaps, maybe being just loving of yourself in the event that you're having a rough time.
Yes, that's a very, very good transition. Really, if you can't forgive yourself, then you really can't love yourself. So they're kind of one and the other. You know, if you have done something that you feel like you shouldn't have done and you're just being really hard on yourself, give yourself some love like you would a best friend. Forgive yourself. And that allows you to also forgive other people. And that brings you back to opening your heart. And it does take courage to do that. And forgiveness is a concept a lot of people have a hard time with. But when you don't forgive, you're not hurting that other person, you're only hurting yourself. And that doesn't mean that you have to agree and condone what happened. It just releases you from the negative energy so that you can get back your power and you can start opening your heart up to love again. And that's where our power is making sure that we're always staying connected to our heart. And courage also helps you do that.
That's something that I've definitely noticed, how like when we do get kind of sucked into that negative cycle and we get angry with ourselves or some circumstances in our life, it does really rob us of that power to make change or to take action. It's definitely something that I've noticed and something that's led me to more of a mindful practice in my life.
Wonderful.
What do you
wonderful.
guys have this coming up book club? Is that going to be focusing again on your memoir, or are you going to have a new guest?
The first three meetings are going to be based on my memoir. So we're going to talk about truth, which was last night. And the next one, end of July, will be about courage. And then in August, we will talk about love. And then I'm going to add guests to our program. So guest authors that have something to say.
Well, fantastic. So, Terry, if there's anything else that you'd like to share with us or anywhere that people can get a hold of you, where can they find you?
They can find me on my website or on Instagram, Facebook, and all the social media links. But go to my website. Everything is there. It's Terry, Terry, Sidford, SIDFORD, .com, and reach out to me. I would love to help you. And we have a lot of fun things going on. And you can find my book there. You can also go to Amazon to find my book, Truth, Courage, and Love.
Awesome. Terry Sidford, thank you so much for joining us. And if you guys would like to join her book club, the next opportunity, is coming up July 22nd, correct?
July 26th.
26th.
Yes,
Well,
at 5:30 Mountain Time.
Awesome. Well, Terry Sidford, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card, all you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Good morning, Vail.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Welcome to the TV8 Weather Center. Happy Monday, gorgeous day out there. Let's check out that sunshine. As you can see, 8 a.m., 58 degrees, a high of 79. Sunny and beautiful day. Soak up that sunshine, have some fun. I am stoked on summer. 8 a.m., 58 degrees and sunny. Noon, 73 sunny. 4 p.m. even warmer, dig that, 77 and sunny. 8 p.m. temperatures cooling off a little bit, 69 and sunny. Now for the I-70 corridor, you can see that Eagle is going to be 86, very warm, so take your sunscreen and definitely make sure and lather up today. Avon 81 degrees, Vail 79, and Denver a whopping 90 degrees. Talk about a summer sunshiny day. I dig it. A low of 52 degrees tonight. Beautiful evening to open up your windows and have a light breeze coming in. For your 5-day forecast, Tuesday, mostly sunny, 77. Wednesday, 79 and sunny. Thursday, 75 and partly cloud, well, mostly sunny. Not even partly cloudy. Friday, mostly sunny and 73 degrees. And then Saturday, 75 and mostly sunny. It's going to be a beautiful week out there. Get on out there, soak up that sunshine, and keep right here for more of TV8.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
What an awesome Monday. I don't know about you, but now I want to go out there, get in the sunshine, try some fly fishing. Thank you, Mark. You got me stoked on that. Also, Tracy with her amazing food. I know some things I'm going to try to eat light this summer. I hope you all have a great Monday out there. Soak up that sunshine. We'll see you tomorrow for more Good Morning Vail. Have a great day.